Hey gamers, I am Cybersnake J. Yes, you heard right, I am Cybersnake J. The Cybersnake7 is not going to change down there. It's always been my YouTube name, but I seem to have adopted Cybersnake J. Everybody calls it me, and I kind of like it. So in future, guys, it's Cybersnake J. But let's push that to one side because this video is all about something totally different. It's a reply video to James Monkeyspaz5000. Obviously, he has the question on how far is too far and how much would you be willing to spend on retro games in general. Now, this question has many different avenues because everybody collects differently. So let's talk about a few people first. You got your likes of Retro Chef, and you've got obviously 2UK, who those guys, their collections are built up off dealings off eBay, dealings from YouTubers. Also, they hit the car boots Sunday mornings, you know, so that's the way they make up their collections, and they want to spend, in terms, without being harsh, which is true, they want to spend as minimal as possible and get their collection built off through paying less as possible and trading. So, and that's not such a bad thing, that's their way of doing things. You got Mark Holsborough, who has set himself a limit. He's probably going up in the world now to a £5, but he's happy with that, and he buys games he likes, and he appreciates his collection for what it is. Simple as that. You know, he hasn't paid through the nose for anything, but he likes the games he plays and he buys. Simple as that. Then you're going up to the other end of the scale where you got Retro Dave, who specifically collects for NES and SNES. Same as Pete's Nestastic, but Dave, you know, he exceeds everything. You know, if he sees it, he wants it, he buys it, and price is no option. But at the end of the day, what he's got on his shelf, he absolutely adores, appreciates, and there's not one game in that room of his that he's ever going to look and say, you know, there's nothing on that shelf that I ever want to say, oh, why did I buy that, why did I buy that. Every single game he loves, he'll appreciate and he'll play, and that's it. That's what I'm trying to say. It doesn't matter what scale you're on, how you collect, how much you spend, as long as you're happy with your collection, that's all it boils down to. Now, where I'm concerned, me, I'm a multi-format collector anyway. I collect for every system, and I've lived and learned over the years. You know, at one time I used to buy anything and everything just to stock my shelves up, and I don't know how many times I've talked about focusing your collection, and a lot of people have said the same. But over the last couple of years especially, and being on YouTube and watching other people's ways of collecting, it does help me develop my own. I told you I was going on a tangent. But to be honest, as I say, with the collection that I've got, being a multi-format system collector, I have to decide on the way I want to collect, and obviously I want the best for each system that I've got. So if that comes to, some games cost £20 and it goes up to, all the way up to £400, I'm quite willing to spend that money on getting them games, because one, I know I'm having to save hard from in the first place. Yeah, I'd rather get that money, put it to one side, and buy that one game that's going to cost me, say, 300 quid. So, say Castlevania Dracula X on the Super Nintendo, which I not have yet got, but one day I will. But I'd rather be willing to put that £400, £300 to one side and save hard for it, and get that one game and go, I've got this game now, it's cost me this much money, but I'm going to love it, appreciate it, it's going to give me that collection, and I know I'm going to look at it every time and go, I'm so glad that's there, I can take it down any time, I'm going to appreciate the game, enjoy the game for what it is. I'd rather do that than go out and buy 10 or 15 games with that £400 and go fill my shelf full of games and think 2 or 3 months later, why did I get that, why did I get that, why did I get that. I don't really like these games, I'm never going to play them, I'd rather just get rid of them. Wasted money to me. So that's what I'm trying to say. The way I collect now is I research it a little bit more than usual. I look at the game, I look at the games that I want for the systems, how much they're going to cost me, and if I'm willing, as like this collection now, the Master System, I know I've got a couple of games in there. There's a lot of £50 games I'm going to have to pick up. There's one that's going to cost me roughly 400, which is the Smurfs. But I've started something. I'm going to collect for it. I'm going to finish that collection. But that's what I'm trying to say. I'd rather spend my money on an item, just that one item that's going to cost me a shit ton of money initially. But I'm going to save that money and get that one item because I know I'll be happy and appreciate that in the collection. So where your question comes in with your Metal Slug, mate, for the Neo Geo CD you bought, you want to look at it as, what would you rather have? Would you rather have 5 or 6 games for the Neo Geo CD that are just average games that you think, well, they're okay, but I would have preferred to have Metal Slug? Or would you just rather shell that money out, save that money for Metal Slug, buy Metal Slug, stick it on the shelf? I'd rather have that one game for that Neo Geo system than have 5 or 6 games that are okay, but you're not going to play as much as Metal Slug. So my terms is, get that game, stick it in your collection, appreciate it, and play it. That's the way I see it. Spend the money, because you know you're spending wisely. It's something you've wanted. Realistically, none of us are going to get it on the Neo Geo ASC. I'm not even that foolish to pay that kind of money for a game. But I'm quite happy with what I've got it on. I've got it on the Saturn, and it plays and runs just as good. And I've also got it on the PS2, the anthology for the PS2. All 6 games, 15 quid, and they all play exactly the same as the Neo Geo versions. Not an issue. So I'm quite happy because obviously having the systems, I've got the option of buying it on different systems, thankfully. But as I say, I've got it. I'm happy with. I had it on the Neo Geo CD. I had 1 and 2, but personally for me, I didn't like the system because of the slow loading times. That's why I'd give for the CDZ. But I'm happy with the ASC. I'm sticking with that now. But anyway, what I'm trying to say is, mate, just buy the game, go for it, enjoy it, because you know once you've got it, that's it. You've spent your money wisely, and you've got yourself a game you know you're going to enjoy and play. So I'm going to leave it there, guys. I'm just waffling on now, but that's my response to you, James. Hopefully you've made sense to this ridiculous video. But I just wanted to say to everybody, everybody's collection is different. Everybody collects differently. But, you know, in my terms, money's no option. I work hard enough for it, so I'd rather go out and get myself some quality than crap. That's the best way of putting it. So, James, get that game. Get it on the system, appreciating it and enjoy it. Right, guys, I'm leaving it there. It's now 8 minutes of total waffle. So, as always, guys, I am Cyber Snake J. Keep playing and keep watching.